My lovelies, my crew, my tribe. Hello, it's Saturday night. How you doing? I'm going to record this without oxygen. If I start needing it, I'll just go get it and come back. How's that sound? Um, why am I doing it without oxygen? I'm not sure. Well, that's what I'm doing right now. All right, on to the drones. God be with us tonight, Lord. I ask that you give me your guidance in what to say to my brothers about this situation because it is serious and it is it, it it's being trying to be hidden. It's covered. It's a problem. Let's go into it. Number one, what are they? Are they drones? Yes, they are drones. Whose drones are they? That is not a an answer I can give you. I have that answer, and I will give it. I will not give it today because it isn't the right time. Now, what I will say, and so that you don't just say, "Oh, okay, he's just blowing the old smoke." He's not blowing the old smoke. The purpose is more important than who owns them. And if you've seen in the past, just prior to wars and other earth shaking incidents, there's always been a sign. Now, let's go back to one that's pretty obvious. We're fighting this war in Ukraine. Who's we? What's is it all Putin? No. We started that back in 2014, and if you go back, we started it. The United States started that with the help of NATO over a decade ago, well over a decade ago. The Crimea incident. You remember that one? The people in Crimea never felt like they were part of the country of Ukraine. There's a people. Now, some people or the people, that's two different things. And so the takeover of Crimea was almost incidental in their mind. And it was hard to make it anything other than that in the world stage. So it just happened and then it was done. But the United States took over Ukraine even before Biden. Remember Biden? Remember Hunter? Remember all this talk about Burisma and Biden's vice president goes over there and says, "I'm going to announce $1 billion in loans to Ukraine, but you're not getting them if you don't fire the." And the way he'd say, "Fire the prosecutor." Well, he says, "Son of a, what? They fired him, because we were going to leave if they didn't," and they did. Well, as well known, that was an up and up prosecutor who was investigating Burisma and Hunter and Biden himself. And when you're holding up hostage $1 billion grant, basically they called it a loan. Who's ever going to pay that back? You can get done pretty much whatever you want. You can get your son loaded on crack and getting placed on a board, but he never appeared there. They just paid him, and then he paid Dad, the big guy. This is all you keep hearing this, but you don't hear anything being done about it. And somehow the man gets elected president. It didn't happen, people. We know that. Trump just won for the third time. One of them just got stolen. Well, he's back in, but he's not in yet, but he's in soon. So hold your breath. So what does Biden do? He pardons his son, and he's about to pardon a bunch of other people. He just pardoned like a couple thousand people, like yesterday. And some of them, when you look through, some of them, yeah, they're reasonable. Some of them are not. Some of them are bad actors, and they just got plain old pardoned by Joe. And there's more to come. You know, Joe's not done screwing us over. He's, you know, selling the border pieces from the scrap metal from the border wall at a nickel on the dollar. You think why is that happening now, right now? You know why? What I'm still holding to Kamala will be president soon. I'm still holding to that. And what does this have to do with the drones? Well, just prior to I don't want to call it an attack because that has to have proof, and I'm not here to put out unfounded claims that can cause hysteria. But I will tell you it's time to stock up on your toilet paper if you haven't already. We've never been without. But, you know, water, toilet paper, and what's the other one? Guns, groceries, and a getaway plan. Guns, gold, groceries, and a getaway plan. There's 4Gs right there. All good ideas. All highly recommended by Rax. You got it right here. I'm ready. Are you? I got my main thing is watch for myself is being able to survive a any kind of shutdown because of my medical issues. But yep, I've put that to where it needs to be. I have basically the capability of running my house on the hybrid car we just ran. I bought Peggy a hybrid car. You believe that? Neither one of us has bought or owned a brand new car off the dealer's lot. Let's see, my last one was in '88. I think I bought an Oldsmobile station wagon. And before that, I think I bought a '73 Datsun when I was 18 years old that I bought off the lot for $2,400. Yeah, I got a bank loan and everything when I was 18 years old. Didn't have any cosigners. How did I do that? Well, I had a job, and back then you could do it. And payments were $73 a month, and I could handle it. Of course, I think I was making $2.50 an hour back then. But which was, you know, okay. I was working in a chemical plant. That's back before I went to college. Yeah. So what does that have to do with right now? Well, if you don't have a plan, I hate it for you. You know, the fail to plan is plan to fail. Don't be caught. Don't be caught. Please do not be caught. It's coming. All right, these drones, what are they? Well, they're just drones. They're being piloted off from offshore. Look at where they're coming in. It's all close to water. So what are they being piloted off of? Well, that's the thing. Who owns them? The fact that we're not sending assets up to shoot them down tells you they're ours. They're either ours or they belong to, shall we say, friends. It is what it is, people. If these were hostile interlopers, they'd be shot down. The fact that they don't want to, they're even saying don't shoot them down. You know, people, don't shoot them down. They might fall on your neighbor's roof and hurt them. Well, I guess that's true, but they don't want you shooting them down because that we own them. Yeah, and it's a display of what can be done, and we're displaying this to adversaries, and we're displaying to our adversaries so we can scare our own people so bad that they'll do whatever we say, and therefore the adversaries will do whatever they say. I want you to think about something for a minute. This is going to be hard for some to take in. It's really going to be hard, but it is what it is. So please just listen and take it in. Let's assume that you lived in Iraq in what was the last Gulf War, the second one, not the first one. Either one. You lived in Iraq. And the United States says we're going after old Saddam Hussein because he's a bad guy, bad actor, bad character. He got weapons, mass damn destruction. All right. Well, maybe. But if you lived in Baghdad or anywhere near there or along the coast where they're drilling oil and you see all these attacks going on, the bulk of the people in that country were scared to death, but because they heard of what was going on, not because they saw what was going on. You know, cities were being bombed, but yet the people themselves were not. In general, yes, the collateral damage occurred, and I'm not in favor of that by any means. But probably less than 2% of that country actually saw the damage that went on. The fear is what drove that engagement. The fear. It's all about fear. So if our government can cause its own people to fear a situation, i.e., drones in New Jersey, then they can certainly prove to those in, shall we say, Russia, Iraq, Iran, China, New North Korea, and several other places, that we can make your people so fearful that they'll rebel against you. And that's kind of what's going on. And that's why I don't feel like it's necessary for me to tell you who owns them and what exactly is going on, because what's going on is the demonstration of a fear campaign. All these wars were started, all the wars that we know of. That was my cat. We had an interaction there. She's playing. Anyway, all the wars that we've watched occur, I say we, it depends on how old you are. I mean, I watched the Vietnam War occur. I did not watch the Korean War occur, although I was born during it. What do I know about it? I know about whenever I was a teenager about people talking about it, so that's a different story. I know about Vietnam from the beginning when I was in 8th grade, and they were talking about we might have to start drafting people, and by the time I was in high school, they were drafting people, and by the time I was out of high school, I was in the line to be drafted, so I'm pretty well aware of that one. But Gulf of Tonkin, think about it. That was a false flag that started our major engagement there. So every war is started with a false flag. False flags are they're how it's done, and that's what you're looking at here. You're looking at the beginnings of a false flag. The beginnings of a false. Oh, that cat is so cute. The beginnings of a false flag, and there's more to come on that, and you will see more of that, but it's all going to be about staging fear. And as you see that fear being staged, I'll keep you posted. You just stay tuned. I'll let you know what's happening. There more than likely will be casualties taken in our country. And that's a new thing, but is it really new? No, it's not really new. Look at the southern border. We are taking casualties in our country from the false flag of the invasion of our southern border every day. Every day we take casualties. And it's not for us to say, oh, okay, the people that are coming in across the southern border are the enemy, let's start shooting them. That is absolutely not the result, not the answer we're looking for. People are people. Now, there are agent provocateurs coming through that border. There's lots and lots of them. However, the only thing is you don't know who they are. You start firing off at anybody that comes across. Basically, all you're going to be doing is being the bad guy. There's people are being paid to come across. People are being paid for their children. People are being paid to be narcotic mules. People are being paid to do many, many nefarious things across that border. And it needs to be shut down, and it will be. And to say, in 39 days, Trump will be here to do it, okay. Thank God for that part. But a lot of damage is being done every day in the meantime, and every day for the last 4 years. Trump didn't stop it. He slowed it down. He was closing the valve. He was putting the brakes on. And the moment that he was evicted from the White House by a fake stolen vote, the everything that he had done to put in place to try and get that situation repaired was undone in a matter of days by a man who is a criminal. I mean, just a lifelong criminal. Joe Biden has been nothing but a lifelong criminal, and his family has been a lifelong criminal pact. This is not even. I mean, you can debate it all you want, but it's true. And look at what a sack of, you know what? Biden invites Trump to the White House and smiles and tells him we're going to have peaceful transition. That's what we do. This man is so bad. Oh God, bad's not the word that I'm looking for, but darn people, this man is he's rotten to the core. He is rotten to the core. They took him out to put Kamala to run. Of course, Kamala burnt through over $1 billion, ended up coming out in debt, and the two of them are not exactly pals right now. Look at and look at who she picked for a vice president, and he's saying, "Well, it wasn't him that was the problem. It was just we didn't pay attention to what was his latest. We didn't pay attention to prices prices going up. God bless. What has happened to my vocabulary? Inflation. We didn't deal with that strongly enough. Come on, people. You caused it. Walls didn't have anything to do with it. He was brought in as a monkey on a string. That man never had that man somehow became a governor of a state. But you know what? My son's trying to become a counselor of a city. And we're not going to talk about that much on this channel. But if he were, He would become the J.D. Vance of that city, but they're not going to let him in because they are a bunch of left-weeny Democrats, and they don't let they don't let people with righteous indignation into their circle, even if the people want them. It's like, yes, we would let you in, but we don't want to. Okay, that's look at the crap, the horse crap that we've gotten out of the the, the White House press secretary for 4 years. That's combining I guess both of them, Cabbage Patch and Jen. Oh, I'm Jen. Okay, look, there was never, truth be told, there was never any truth told from that podium. Never any, and it's ungodly, man. It's unholy. It's pathetic. It's, good Lord, please help us. We 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 as a country know that we're being had, we're being taken down, but yet we are allowing ourselves to be led into a dark abyss hole of unholy, unsacred sexual deviancy that has never been seen since the Roman Empire, and we kind of know what happened there. People, it's time to wake up and take pull up your bootstraps there, people. It's time to take over this country again and become the country that we were meant to be. We're not doing it. We're not doing it. A lot of people feel it. A lot of people know we're not in the right place. A lot of people are praying, and I certainly, certainly insist that you continue prayer. And I insist, continue your prayer and take action. Your prayer is not enough. Your trust in the Lord is definitely enough. But if you trust in the Lord, then you'll do what He said. And people of this country, you are not doing what He said. It's time to wake up. It's time to support your president, the new, the old, the latest, the president who made 12 years. Unfortunately, 4 of them were stolen from him. Protect and pray for Donald J. Trump. He's not the savior, but he will and is putting everything he's got against the people that would take this country down. And if you don't take your time and energy and back him, you're no better than Joe Biden and his lying, cheating, stealing, thieving family, who I hold no respect for whatsoever. I know that I'm coming down on some that think, gee, I didn't do that. What, did you? Maybe you did. Maybe you were the one that was the cause of it, because of your inaction, because you didn't stand up and say enough's enough. Well, you got your shot. You got forgiveness. Go get it. Go do it. You know, there's a, what's his name, old Mahatma Gandhi, said, be the change that you want to see. Well, you know what? That's a wonderful saying. But the Lord Jesus put it a whole lot better. He said, the world will inherit, the meek will inherit the earth. The peacemakers are blessed. Peacemakers Do not shy away from war. And we have shied away from war. It's time to strap on your guns, people. I'm not telling you to go shoot anybody. I'm not telling you to go down the border and take things, law in your own hands. I'm telling you it's time to say no till when it's time to say no. And it's time to say yes when it's time to say yes. And it's time to put your beliefs and your actions in order to back this country and to back Christianity, to back Jesus, to back your love for freedom, your love for truth, which you have not been doing. What about the drones? What about the drones? Look up at them. Is it okay to shoot them down? I don't know. Maybe. I'm going to tell you this. I saw one of them drones. Everything that you're hearing described, I saw in 1974. It was an autumn evening after dark. Stars were out. I was driving through what was then a country road, which now built into the city, but heading down a country road towards where 1973 the interstate wasn't completed, and back there in Baton Rouge, and I-10 would have been heading towards New Orleans, was being built. I-12, which went straight across, was from Baton Rouge over to Hammond, was pretty much built, but the I-10, which would go from Baton Rouge down to New Orleans and up, that was under construction. And this road that I was on was would eventually become one of the entrances to that interstate. So they had poured the ramp and set up, it cleared the 50, 60 foot wide right away, whatever, where the interstate was going to be. And I'm at night driving down past there. And I'm not going to say the name of that road, but I'm going to tell you that in German it means victory. You can figure it out from there if you know me. And I looked up and I saw an object not terribly far above the trees. I had my windows up and the heater on, but I quickly put my windows down, rolled down, manual roll down. I don't even think I had air conditioning in that old car. That was a cool little old car, but brand new. Good, ran good. Got 40 miles to the gallon, brand new, back in 1973. What's wrong with us people? Anyway, I rolled my window and I heard it didn't sound like an airplane. It didn't sound like a jet plane, but it definitely sounded like some sort of a motor on a craft, probably more like a large watercraft. But this thing had to be, I couldn't see it because it was too dark. I could see the lights and they were kind of circular and flashing around it, and they were various colors: red, white, green. I don't know if there was any blue and yellow. It wasn't a Christmas tree, that's for sure. And the size of it, I guess I can't tell you because I don't know how far away it was. It was off to my right, and it was well above tree line. It was no less than 200 feet above the ground, but it could have been 2,000 feet above the ground. I just couldn't tell from where I was, but I could hear something. And it wasn't moving very fast. It was moving a little faster than I was. And so I'm coming up to this entrance, which's got a big sign that says "Do not enter," construction. Well, I ignored that for the moment. I'd been out there. I was a teenager. Going out on where they're building the interstate was almost a normal thing for us. We just kind of hang out over there and see what was going on. So I drove off on the road onto that, which eventually becomes the entrance ramp, and I got just right up to where they were building the interstate, and I couldn't go any further because I would have driven off the end onto some rebar. And I stopped my car and I got out and I stood up and I looked as this thing finished its path across that opening and above the trees off into the what would then be wooded area. And it was gone. And I'm just standing there looking at the sky on a crisp, clear night, thinking, what did I just see? And I hear a crackle behind me, and what are you doing here? Well, as my heart sunk to my stomach, I turn around and there's a sheriff walking up to me rather briskly with one hand on his holster. And I said, "Officer, did you just see what I saw?" And he said, "I don't know. What'd you see?" And I said, "Well, if you didn't see it, it's going to sound a little crazy, but I went ahead and described to him what I saw." And I said, and he said, "Well, why'd you come in here?" I said, "Because I just wanted to see what it was. I was curious. I'm not out here to do anything. Matter of fact, if it's all right with you, I'd just soon leave." I said, "What do you think?" He said, well, his words were, "Actually, son, you're scaring me a little here." And I said, "Well, do you mind if we both just leave?" And he said, "No, I think that'll be all right." And we both just left, and I don't know who he was. I never saw him again. I kind of wonder if he wasn't one of them Men in Black kind of guys. But nonetheless, that did happen to me. And now today I'm looking at these videos and coming out of New Jersey, and dozens of them, well, a lot of them look different, but dozens of them look like what I saw then back in 74. 24. Happy 50 years. Happy 50 years. God bless all of you. Get ready for what's coming. Don't be afraid. Spend some time getting to know the Lord again. Just tell him, "Lord, I've sinned and I'm not worthy of you, but you've set the path straight for me and I accept it. In the name of Jesus, amen."